Hey guys, this is Yash from Sepals, and we thought it would be cool to do Q&As because we've never really given a lot of background on the band or our music, and figured that a quarantine would be a good opportunity to do so. So I'll be kicking off the first one. Hopefully we'll do more of these, and if you if you message us or comment with a question that you have for us, that would be awesome. Whether or not it's serious or just anything you're curious about. So yeah, this is part one of hopefully multiple parts. So how did Sepals form? So Kristen and I were both living in Boise, but we didn't know each other. And I think she played in a couple or a few bands here in Boise. I had one band 8 years ago. We played like one gig, and I had since jammed with a few people that were involved with the scene here, but I wasn't really ever really involved with the music scene here. Despite being a musician for most of my life, I'm also an introvert and very shy, so that definitely didn't help. But yeah, Kristen had posted an ad looking for a shoegaze band, and I love shoegaze. And she basically said, I'm looking for start a shoegaze band, possibly instrumental, looking for a guitarist, a bassist, a drummer. And I looked at the ad and I'm like, well, I play none of those. I have been a cellist my entire life, and for most of my life, and recent years kind of utilize some non-traditional techniques, and definitely use a lot of pedals with my cello to kind of build layers. I've also been an electronic musician for most of my life, mostly making kind of like noisy, lo-fi, weird music. So, I looked at her ad and I'm like, well, I don't play any of those, but I kind of had this feeling like it would work and we could maybe create something really cool. So I sent her some samples of my work, and she ended up really liking them, and we just started working together on things, and that was kind of early 2018, and we spent the entire year basically writing stuff and figuring out what our sound was going to be. And I think we were really pleased how things were going. It ended up being kind of a fusion of our influences and styles. Kristen kind of brought a more traditional dream pop shoegaze sound to the band. That was really the backbone of everything. And then I kind of had this more experimental electronic aspect I brought in, and then also the cello with the layers. So that's kind of how our sound formed. And then kind of another thing we realized when we started playing was that we wanted a sort of a pervasive visual aspect to the band. Partially because with shoegaze, it's kind of, and especially just not even with shoegaze, but us kind of being like low energy introverts, figured that maybe we weren't the most interesting to look at, but with a visual show, there's just a lot more to take in the sensory on the sensory side of things. So we definitely really wanted to do visuals. So that was definitely the impetus to bring on Kay, and I think we brought her on in 2019 after we'd started playing shows in 2019, and Kay really just brought everything to the next level. And her talent at coming up with really awesome visual accompaniment to what we were doing. So that's basically how the band formed. It's been pretty interesting because I don't think we necessarily realized that the fusion of our respective styles of music and visuals and everything that came together, we didn't realize it would be maybe as accessible as it has ended up being. I kind of just expected a cacophonous mess of noise, but it actually sounds like music sometimes. So yeah, that's basically how the band has formed. Yeah, we're gonna keep making weird music. So that's all we had for our first Q&A. Again, leave a comment or a message if you have questions for us for future Q&As. So we will catch you guys next time. Stay safe.